Hello everyone, welcome to our video. Let's begin with our book Knowledge World, a course book of general knowledge for class 7 by Seraphic Publications. Today let's begin with chapter number 32, book Lovers. In this chapter we will read about some of the adventurous story books. The first book that we are going to read about is James and the Giant Peach. Is an adventure story of 4 years old James by the famous children's author Roald Dahl. James is an orphan boy who wants to make friends, and he begins an adventurous journey with the help of a giant peach and makes friends at the end of his journey. Then the next book that we are going to read about is our little favorite character Stuart Little, a little mouse. Stuart Little is a book written by E.B. White, which tells us about a little mouse's adventures in New York City. Then there is a Your Answer Please for you children. The question is that have you watched the show Malgudi Days? Name any other famous work of Roald Dahl. Then next we move on to the Rusties. The Rusty, it is a series by Ruskin Bond and is a series of stories about the growing up of an Anglo-Indian boy who lives in the valley of Dehradun in Uttarakhand. The stories are about Rusty's meeting with interesting people and its unusual experiences. The next is, can you imagine living all alone on an island? Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe is a story about a man who spent 28 years alone on an island because his ship sinks into the sea. Then moving on to the next page. Next is Malgudi Days. Malgudi Days is a collection of short stories by R.K. Narayan. In my childhood, I have watched Malgudi Days many times. It used to cast on the television and we all were very fond of watching that serial. It is about Swami and his group of friends who live in a small fictional town of Malgudi. The stories have also been made into a popular TV series. As I told you earlier, we as in our childhood, we have watched Malgudi Days as a TV series. The next is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain is a story about a boy named as Tom, a fun-loving boy growing up along the Mississippi River, and he who gets in and out of troubles many times. Now let's move on to the quick fact. The quick fact says that Stuart Little is a 1945 American children's novel by E.B. White, and Stuart Little was illustrated by the subsequently award-winning artist Garth Williams. Next, James and the Giant Peach were a popular children's novel in the year 1961. So this was all about the quick fact. Let's now move on to the quiz time. Now here in the quiz time they have asked us about that can you identify these characters from famous story books. So what we have to do is we have to read and then we have to identify the characters from the famous stories. So let's begin with the questions now. The first story that we are talking about is a story by Roald Dahl, and it is about a young girl who is gifted with magical powers. Her parents ignore their daughter's skills and think that she is foolish. Who is this young girl? And this young girl is Matilda. A very nice series has also been developed. A movie has also been developed. If you get chance, children, I would like you to watch this movie in your free time, Matilda. The next is, it is a story of an Indian boy who was raised by wolves and learned from the jungle animals to become wise and self-dependent. The name of the boy was Mowgli. So this is also another favorite cartoon character of mine, and in my childhood I used to watch its all series on my favorite holiday Sunday. The next is, Lewis Carroll in this wonderful story takes a girl into a land of mad tea parties and talking rabbits. So I hope you have understood about whom am I talking. What is the girl's name? I am talking about the girl called Alice, and the name of the story was Alice in Wonderland. One of the best novels again. If you get time, kindly read it. This person in Jonathan Swift's novel reaches a strange island after his ship sinks into the sea. Onto the island, he finds himself as a prisoner of some of the people who are only 6 inches tall. And who was he? He was none other than Gulliver, and the name of his book is Gulliver's Travel. The next is Anna Sewell. She writes a story of a horse who lives in England and the difficulty he faces while growing up. What is the horse name? The horse name was Black Beauty. It was a very beautiful horse, black in color. I have read this novel also. If you get time to study, I would want you children actually to read this beautiful novel Black Beauty. So with this, we have now completed the chapter. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Stay tuned till the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.